Well, hi, good morning, and thank you so much for joining me in my shop. It's October 18th, and I was in here yesterday for a short while, but I didn't shoot any video. I put the bottom plate on the radio here to get it ready to do an alignment, and never got past it. And the reason for that is misbehaviors of the radio. I don't really know for sure what's going on. I didn't spend enough time yesterday to sort it out. I just realized, oh, something not quite right here. So, just to recap, all the wires have been changed in this radio. All the cracked wires, components, old capacitors, everything's been changed. The radio is actually operating quite well. And I'm at the stage now where I just want to do a final alignment touch-up. The radio should be fairly well aligned already, but that may require some touch-up. In order to do that, I want to monitor the output strength on a meter, and that's what this clip lead here is. That's disappearing into the radio. It's still soldered in. It's soldered into the input side of the volume control, where I can pick up the ABC voltage. Maybe it's not right at the volume control, but the other side of the capacitor. This is the problem here. When I measure the voltage here, it doesn't vary even as I tune in different things with the radio. So I'm not sure what to think of that. Don't want to take the bottom plate off and start poking around right away. It takes time to put this plate on. So today what I want to do is just go ahead with the alignment as best I can. Maybe this will work this time, you never know, or maybe I'll be stuck having to do it in some other fashion. And that's what's going to happen. Now, what is different in the shop today from the last video, let me just be quiet for a minute. Do you hear anything? No, you don't. But all my previous videos, what you would hear is the sound of a computer and its cooling fans whirring away down under my bench here in the dark. Well, there's a computer down there, but I can't hear it. Isn't that fantastic? But what's even more fantastic than the fact that I no longer have to listen to cooling fans whirring away, the new computer also issues out very little RF interference, or maybe I should flip that around. My old computer was barking out interference. Here it is here. There's my old computer right here. So this is kind of a hand-built computer. My son and I put this together. We bought the board, stuff like that, so long ago. Got a great big video card in it. That thing had so many problems. It's all gone now. So that's fantastic for me in my shop here. Shouldn't really change the look of any of the videos I'm doing, but the audio should be better because there's no longer a high noise floor. It's disappeared. Gone away. It's weird. I come in here now. I don't think the computer's running because I can't hear it. Okay, that's good. Let's get the radio ready for alignment, at the very least an alignment check. Let me say a little more about my two computers, which are both retired now while this radio warms up here. So the two computers that I've replaced in my house were both built by me and my sons. Buying the motherboard, buying the parts, buying the cabinet, putting it all together. And I've used those computers for I don't know how long. It's 15 years, some crazy length of time. I've updated them slightly during that time. Hard drive, stuff like that. A little more memory, maybe. I can't remember now. What I learned in the last week, just the last week, is that these computers, even when shut down, are blasting out all kinds of RF noise. Both of them. And there just never was an occasion where I became aware that this was happening. And it's a little hard to explain. How can you not be aware that this is happening? But it's true. I did discover one of them issued huge RF signals when it's in sleep mode. And so I avoided sleep mode. But I shut my computers down. I just shut them down. I didn't realize what's going on inside them. They're still barking out powerful RF interference travels the length of my house easily. Probably hear it outside to some degree. Many other devices that have RF noise, like even just these lights. If you get a radio close enough, you'll hear it. But you got to get right up close because the noise doesn't go far in most of these devices. A few exceptions here and there, and including these two computers. So for all the years I've been doing these videos, I've been using these computers, and I have been facing this horrible situation here in my shop with noise that I assumed everybody else was experiencing too. Now I realize that, shame on me, I was operating a really bad setup here for years and years, and it's really damaged my hobby of listening to the radio because of all this noise. In fact, I never listened to AM radio. It was just constantly covered in noise. So these new computers, not only are the audio silent, you don't hear them, there's very little to no RF coming out of them. I'm totally floored. So I think really what I've had here in my house is a situation of extraordinary radio noise, much more than your average house. Could you pick a worse house? A guy fixing old radios has a house full of RF noise. What a terrible situation, but all that is behind me now. Literally, the computer's sitting here behind me. And so that's enough talk about that. It's a new world here for me. At the same time, I've acquired a new kind of antenna that I've been experimenting with, and it works great in my low noise environment. In fact, all my antennas work better now. They because the noise floor has dropped quite a bit everywhere here. So let's get this guy make some sound. So he is hooked up to an antenna. The antenna's not switched on. There we go.
Yeah. And what are you seeing on the ground now? Because this is what those in the bigger hubs of Israel in Tel Aviv, this is their fear, right? And so what are we seeing? I know that 5 Hezbollah terrorists were killed this morning, but there's been, I think, more action than we've seen. But it can go much further.
Yeah, well, fighting is ongoing in the south of Lebanon. It's sporadic, but it's been intensifying over the last week. There was a Reuters journalist that was killed by Israeli. I think that was...
Okay, everything seems to be working fairly well. This appears to provide a small amount of bass boost, which I can't hear, but I can feel it in the bench. The speaker for the radio is just sitting back here on the bench, so it's shaking the bench a bit with the bass, and you can feel a little more when this is turned up. Very subtle though. Okay, I'm going to leave this guy running for a little while I drink a little bit of coffee, and then we're going to start checking the alignment on it using a signal generator, SDR, whatever it is I choose to do. Well, I've been having a lot of trouble here with my SDR radio. It does not want to operate. So I've actually run another SDR that I have, and that's what we're looking at now on the screen up above, is the SDR results from this pickup coil. Not responding very well. Oh, my cord is short. My cord is short. Sounds like a repairman's lament or something. Let's slide this over here. Okay. Well, I think I can see the local oscillator in any case. Shove this like so, or like so, like somehow. Get it to stay in here. Right on. Short cord, causing problems. There we go. Now let me put the SDR on the screen completely here. So we're not too interested in the waterfall part of this right now. Just a sec here. We're more interested in this upper part. So can you see there's a tall signal right here, and that's at 1100. Right now the radio is playing 640. So if the IF frequency is 460 kilohertz, you would add 460 to 640. There's some funny numbers, and you would get 1100, exactly where there's yeah, a little distracted by the news there. So so that's pretty good. Now let's look at how accurate this is on the dial. I'm gonna just take my camera off its tripod here. Oh, well, you gotta look through this camera for this to work. Okay, how accurate is the dial? Well, that's about as close to 640 as you could want to get. Very, very good. Now let's go up at the other end of the band. We'll see how accurate it is. Okay, we'll stop at let's say 1400. No, that's 1400 right there. Okay, is it really 1400? So the way we would tell is by looking at the local oscillator frequency. Okay, let's go back and get the full view here. Local oscillator frequency should be 1400 plus 460, 1860. That's what my head says. Okay, 1860. 1860 is way up at the top. Well, here's the signal way up here. Whoops, wait a minute here. Here we go. Okay, right up in here. Well, it's pretty close to 1860, isn't it? Something like that, 1860. So you can see how close we are to it. You know, that's the width of the pointer on the dial, and also the parallax error. If you're not looking really carefully, there's a parallax error. It's much greater than this. So this tells me the alignment of the AM band is excellent. There's really nothing here to do. Fantastic. Now we're going to check the shortwave bands here. A mouse that's got a mind of its own this morning. Okay, well, I'm still getting used to all the new stuff I have. So let's go on to the shortwave band here. Again, I'm using the, I'm not sure what to call it, the E antenna, electric field antenna. Okay, so first shortwave band is this green one here, and I don't think we're going to get anything on it. I'd be floored. No. Some noises. It's just too low a frequency. It's not much down here anyway. This is 4.5 megahertz. 4. Some kind of interference signal. Yeah, I still have interference signals in my house. Getting rid of those computers didn't solve everything. Well, what's that zooming across the... So I'm tuning up in frequency. The local oscillator is going up in frequency, but that thing on the SDR is going down. So a lot of weird things come out of these radios, I believe. Because they have that mixer stage, and it can do some strange mixings. Yeah, nothing there. Okay, so we're going down to the lower end. Yeah, almost into the AM band, in fact. Right in here. Very, very top of the AM band right here, but nope, nothing. Okay, we'll go to the next. A good shortwave band. Okay, this time of day, we're not going to get anything down here, but you never know. Interference. Do my new computers put out interference? They don't seem to. They don't seem to put out any. The computers I bought are off-lease computers. They're not new by any means. They're quite old. I paid relatively small money for them, and bought one and was so happy I bought the other. Bought another. So these computers are probably in some business somewhere, sitting on a desk, doing spreadsheets. Okay, here we're coming close to a station now. We're right up around 9 megahertz. Oh. Okay, a little lesson on navigation there, but I don't think that's the super strong station that's coming up, I think. Well, maybe the alignment has gone off or the station's not there today. Oh, there it is. There we are.
Things out there. This plane, darkness, another world.
Super strong station. I think it's coming from New York, a few hundred miles from here. Good, let's check the accuracy of this. This is 9.33 megahertz. 9.330 megahertz. You see, that would look like 9.2 to me. Slightly above 9.2. So ever so slightly off. So if I tune this where it should be, so that would be 9.3 right in between there, and then just a touch higher. So this is where we should be getting the station. I can adjust the local oscillator to make it come in here. I'm looking with my own eyes rather than use the camera, because the camera can lie. Let me just look at this with my own eyes here. .33. There. That's 9.33. Okay, now we want to be able to bring in the station here. So to do that, I have to adjust the oscillator. So looking for instructions for that. Who's going to tell me? Where did it go? I've lost track of the instructions on a piece of paper here somewhere. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out without looking at a piece of paper. So I'm going to put up the SDR on the screen here. Now we're tuned in right now at 9, well, what we believe is 933, or very close to it. So let me set this to come on, mouse. What's going on? Lots of things acting up here today. 9, 3. Well, actually, I want to see the local oscillator. Let me just make a couple of adjustments here. There, this thing. That'll be okay. Now one more. I have one more I have to adjust. We'll leave it like that. I see two tall signals here. One right off the screen here at 8925. Don't know what that is. And one here at 9330. 9330 is the actual station.
And then get a skewer, just a stick.
So, and this is certainly the local oscillator. Now, is that 460 away? So that's at 8925. Probably not the correct frequency here. Let me just look. This is the local oscillator now. We're looking at the radio zone local oscillator. And I'm just going to do a calculation because I can't subtract in my head anymore. Minus, so 9330 minus 460, the IF frequency, 8870 is where we want this to actually be. 8870. So I'm going to set this to 8870. Come on. And the mouse keeps stalling. Much interference over yonder. So that's where we want the local oscillator to be. So I want to move it from here to here without retuning the radio itself. I want to leave the radio's frequency as is. Let's go back to the camera shot here. Okay. Now, there's a bunch of adjustments back here, if you remember. There's 6 back line here. 3 of them go with this part of the capacitor, the other 3 go with this other part of the capacitor. This is the oscillator side. You can see the antenna sides going right to this tube here. So it's the oscillator side here. These are the adjustments for the oscillator. There's 3 bands, AM, shortwave, and shortwave. This one at the top, I think, is the right one. So when you're doing alignments like this, and you make a mistake, while you're not aligning the thing you want, you're unaligning something you do want. Now, the tool I was using was a Allen key, which has been floating around on my bench and has avoided being cleaned up a couple times, and I've lost track of it now. At this point, I can't find it. Son of a guy. Okay, gonna stop for a bit. Maybe grab some coffee. Find that Allen key. What did I do with it? And then we can do the adjustment. Well, no luck on finding the Allen key. Now, let's just try. So I'm going to try to use this tool once again. I know that's a little big for the job. I think I got those capacitors loosened up enough. I think I can probably do it here. Now, what we want to do is verify if we're really going at it that I've got the right thing here. I think it's the one in the back. So the first thing I'm going to try to do, I'm just going to touch it and see if that doesn't. So I'm looking at a better SDR display myself than you're seeing. I can see the waterfall, so I'm just. Well, I don't see any change at all. Okay, we're going to go with this one here. I'm going to try to move it a bit and see if just a little bit. Once again, trying to verify I'm on the right thing here. Okay, so I'm watching the SDR very carefully. Wow. Well, that moved it. Holy smokes. What happened there? This thing just leaped. Okay, not up, down. Down, right down. Oh, this is one of the ones that's practically pushed out the bottom. That's why it's jumping like that, probably. I'm at its limit. Well, that's pretty darn close. That's much closer than it was. Let's see what happened on the dial now.
CGI. Well, guys, Dave.
I went the wrong way, it looks like. How would that happen? Why is there two lines on the SDR there? It's maybe hard for you to see, but there's a line here and a line here. What are these things? So this is the radio station. What's this? Where'd this one go? What's happening here? What exactly has happened? Okay, let me tune back up to where it was. This is where I think it should be. What's happening here? Fine. Okay, so this is 9330 where I have the radio tuned now. I don't get it. Well, I don't get what was just happening there. But I'm going to pull this capacitor up. It can't go down any further. Pull it up and just watch what happens here. See some dirt in it or something. Well, we're really not getting anywhere. This indicates maybe I'm pulling on the wrong thing. Okay, I'm going to pull on this other one a little bit. No, nothing's happened. Okay, put that one back. This is definitely the one. Why am I behaving so strangely? So I pulled it way up. Now you can see the local oscillator's gone way down, just about the center of the screen now. 8.7. Now once again, just going over this again, we're tuned to 9330. Local oscillator is below. So you subtract. I'm going to calculate it again. You get 8870. Yeah, 8879. Do it again. 330 minus 460. 8870 is where the local oscillator should be. 8870. I'll put the red line there. 8870. This will be the target. This local oscillator here should be sitting where the red line is. So now we got to get it there. I think what you're doing, Jim, you're gonna... It just jumped right at the end here. Oh, that's pretty darn close. How come we're not hearing the station?
Is a guy that claims to be a professor. Nobody knows
Let me get this. So I'm gonna tune a little up. And I'm gonna try to make that a little stronger. Wow.
You're new.
Oh boy, that was a spot.
Because you haven't really thought it through. Well,
a little higher. Maybe I've got this completely wrong. How could I have this wrong? Oh, many ways.
and you'll become.
Pull it up. And where do we tune it? Lower, but slightly, not much. Down you go. Oops. That's about the best I can do there. In fact, I got that set at its limit now. The dial's still off. But the little secret I know is the owner doesn't care too much about the shortwave side of things here. Well, you might after he hears all this. Okay, let's tune another station now. This is a very strong one.
And so you really can't find the information. So I developed an app that shows you how the flat earth works.
Okay, even with that fading, we want to try to pick up that strength with a different adjustment here. Volume almost full. My antenna's fading out up here.
Every Thursday at 7:45 a.m. Central on 15.825 megahertz. Worldwide Christian Radio, WWCO, Nashville, USA. Today on Real Life Radio.
Now, didn't he say 15.825? Way off from there. 15's way up here. Unless it's just parallax, I'm way too high here. Well, there is a lot of parallax error. Let me just try lifting the ground here. This might boost it. A lot.
Covers with Lindsay Snyder on this episode of Focus on the Fear. You have such a powerful story, and I watched it on the IMSINet platform.
I don't think we're going to get anything else up here. It is possible, but okay, not bad. The teletype there. Okay, let's go AM here. There's my familiar noise. That didn't disappear with the computers. Terrible. I'm gonna use the treble to cut back the noise a little bit. I never pick up stations up here. Now I do. $600 million. This is working great. To do one more thing with the radio, just to be sure it's working, is hook up a loop antenna right here and try it on a loop antenna. That'll be next. Okay, here's the antenna, still in its box. Now, over the years, I have bought quite a few of these. 8 of them, maybe. Never had a problem with any of them, except, actually, I have had a problem with one of them. The reason I bought 8 is because I pass them on to people with radios like this. And there it goes. Okay. I'm not trying to advertise this. I'm not promoting it. I'm just a customer. I buy these. I'm not saying this is the best. This is what I've got right here. Take a good look. Cheap on Amazon. Relatively cheap. Okay, whoops. I need to do that. No batteries. It's not powered. And it's coming right out of the box here. I think it's kind of cool looking myself. So this can work by just putting a transistor radio in proximity to it. But for this kind of radio, can't be proximity. Did I just see a glitch on the screen there? Did I see something funny there? It's just me. So now we're going to try to connect this to a radio like this. There's a jack here. And the antenna comes with a cord. I didn't want to unwrap the cord, so I grabbed my own. Cord. It's just an audio cord. This is probably not the most appropriate thing to use, but it's going to work. I need a couple of clip leads. So what I will do, what can be done in a case like this, you can make up a cord that has this kind of plug on the end, a regular, what do they call that? I don't know what they call it. Irregular. There's no polarity on these antennas. So you can hook up anything to anything here. Take off the other antenna. This is a tuned antenna. And in some cases the tuning is very sharp. You really have to tune it. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. Now there's a chance I've got, this is a stereo plug. You should be using a mono one. Maybe I don't have these right off the bat. Okay, let's give it a go here. see me tune it. Good. Turn this down. Tuned in. Now it's very directional. And it's here in my shop. This is a bad place to be doing this, for sure. I came blasting out of there at one point. Sometimes with these antennas, you can direct them to null out the noise. Right? They receive in this direction, but they're very null in this direction. So if I can aim this, not really. The noise is coming to many places here. Yeah, this isn't going to work well. I'm working on a very weak station too. Let's go to a stronger one. Just shows you the improvement I've made in my outdoor antenna. Now the whole radio's gone dead because I have to tune this back.
And certainly those giving a lot of being targeted, as well as Jews, is very, very divisive. A lot of people just speak to the call of interest. And I'm not sure what it is they class and what they do with the Palestinian people themselves. I just don't know how to break through.
So I've nulled out the station. Right about like this. So now I know the proper way to aim the antenna is actually 90 degrees here.
If Israel was a socialist country, they would not be attacking it in this
Tuning the
manner.
antenna.
If it was
It's very sharp.
they would not be attacking it in this manner.
Excellent. There's some particular interference here. I'm still trying to find out what the heck it is, that terrible clicking noise. It sounds exactly like engine noise is what it sounds like. But does anybody in it? My car's not running, so I don't think it's engine noise. But that's what it sounds like. Okay, I think this radio is completely finished. I think it's working really well, and I don't think there's anything more I can do for it. And I think that's the end of it right there. So thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it. And something else will be on my bench very soon. Don't know what yet. I got all kinds of options of stuff I can mess around with in here. Radios, I got a big tape recorder, I don't know. Something's going to come in here. Thanks a lot for watching the series. See you on the next thing.